So, like I haven't learned from previous vlogs,
just one Christmas wish for me, not underneath no Christmas tree. Yes, just one Christmas wish for me, not underneath no Christmas tree. Yes.
previously on, well, I'm still celebrating my birthday, Wally World, aka Walmart, and run me back another meal. Hey, welcome back to my channel for Vlogmas day number 13. So as I said yesterday that I was on on-call days. That was day 1 of being on call. Obviously today is day number 2. Well, I am done. They did not use me today. It is 8:54 p.m. and I actually put in a drop request for my last on-call day, so they requested it, so I'm done. So I'm going home. One thing that did happen yesterday after I ended the vlog was that they called me to board a flight. And what happens in that situation is, hold on you guys, I'm burning up. What happens with that is, say a crew member is late and they've notified scheduling that they're running late, but they're going to make departure. So what they'll do is they'll have a standby flight attendant who's sitting in the lounge go and stand in for that flight attendant who's running late so that boarding can start on time and it does not affect the departure and operation. Well, in this case, it was not a flight attendant, it was a whole crew. So they called 7 of us from the lounge to go and stand in for these flight attendants, but by the time we got to the gate, they were literally right behind us to board. So I didn't board the flight for them. I packed all myself back up and went back to the lounge. What else happened? On my ride here to the airport, my Uber driver, when he was helping me put my bags into the car, he was like, "Are you a flight attendant?" And I was like, "How'd you know?" Because I'm not in uniform, obviously. And he's like, "Well, because I used to be a flight attendant." And I'm like, "Oh, really? What airline?" And he was telling me how he was a flight attendant for 13 years for, I think, Morocco Air. Correct me if I'm wrong. His experiences. So I really love encountering other flight attendants, especially international flight attendants, and hearing their stories and their experiences and figuring out why they left the aviation industry. And he just said he got tired of it, but when he left, he moved to the States and he did want to do it again, but he ended up changing his mind and going on a different path. So it was nice talk with him. He was encouraging me that I need to go to Morocco, but as of right now, with the Panorama and the Omarion, I know that's not how you say it, but that's how I'm saying it, their airport is on lockdown, like complete lockdown, no flights going in and out. So yeah, I think that's enough of me flopping my gums. Not much happened today, but it was still productive on my end. And once I get home, we need to bid. We, meaning me, needs to bid for January. So I'll sit down and talk to you guys about what my plans are for bidding for January, because the deadline is in 2 days. So I will see you guys in the next clip. Lately, I've been forgetting half of the things I needed to talk to you guys about before ending the first clip. So I'm back again. So like I haven't learned from previous vlogs, I'm, like I said before, not in uniform. So I attempted to go through KCM because I'm still allowed to do that, and it was closed. So if you don't know, when in uniform and you have to go through regular security, there's certain rules that don't apply to us, and when you're not in uniform, every rule applies to you. So it was either check my bag or change into my uniform. So I want you guys to comment down below which option you think I did. For real this time. I will see you in the next clip. Promise, I am back to do my bidding for the month of January. For those of you who are new or not familiar with how, oh, we don't need to do that close. Not familiar with how the bidding happens or the process in the aviation industry, typically you bid for your month's schedule at one time. So you know your whole month schedule, whether you're on reserve, you know your reserve days, or if you have a line, you'll know your line the previous month, so the prior month. Now it is time for me to bid for January, even though we're in December. So I wanted to share with you guys, I'm trying something new with my bidding process, and I wanted to share with you guys a few criteria I'm trying to go by and see how that works for me for the month of January. And the first category that I looked up is holidays. So obviously in January there is New Year's Day and MLK Day. While they're both important holidays, they're not something that I intend to request off. So the next category that is very important is the commute. So the first thing I do is I look up the first flight of the day to my base, which is New York, which is 6 o'clock in the morning, and the last flight of the day to New York, which is 9:45 p.m. And then after that, I look up the first flight of the day back home, and that is at 6:45 in the morning, and the last flight of the night is at 9:59. If you see me looking down, it's because I have all my notes on my iPad. So after that, what I do is something called rotation filtering. Rotation filtering is basically putting in different parameters and seeing what rotations meet those criteria that you put in. So the next category, and the second most important category of how I structure my bid, is my preferences. So I typically bid based on the commute. The commute is the most important thing for me. The trip really doesn't matter to some extent if it's commutable. If I can commute front end and back end, which means I can commute in the same day the trip starts and the same day the trip ends, that is my biggest priority. So typically based off of whatever the commute is like and what airports the commute looks better in is what I would decide what airport I would prefer that my trips go out of. And if you don't know, my airline, being New York City based, we service 2 airports, New York and LaGuardia. So luckily for me this month, or next month I should say, both airports have good commuting options. So I am not going to put a preference into saying, oh, I only want this airport or vice versa. So I had to switch over to my phone because my camera is acting crazy. So we have report time, we have trip length, we have days off, and we have on-call days or work start days. And that is it for my preferences for the month of January. We'll see if I get them. Hopefully I'll try and remember and just let you guys know how the schedule is looking once I get it, and see if we got any of the things that we preference, because this is my first time trying this kind of preference, and I'm interested to see if I can hold any of the things that I'm asking for. So with that being said, this is the end of this vlog. Thank you so much if you've made it to the end. I do apologize that it's short, but it's my life. Not every day is fun-filled and eventful, and we didn't work, so there wasn't much for me to show. Other than that, I didn't do anything for the day, so I wasn't going to come on the camera and just sit there and flap my gums to you guys. So yes, thank you if you made it to the end of the video, and as always, stay safe and see you soon.